Hi, friends. I hope you all had a good week and are ready for our next story time in our virtual library. The weather is getting much nicer. Are you able to get out and go for long walks or bike rides? Have you seen any animals on your walks? Are there plants growing? So, in our History virtual library, we are on a book journey, reading 10 books from the Forest of Reading written by Canadian authors. I am amazed that we have so many awesome authors here in Canada. I am so grateful that we are on this adventure of reading together. The 10 books we are sharing are part of the Blue Spruce category of the Forest of Reading 2020. These are books that have been chosen especially to read with primary students. If you have loved these books, when we go back to Hess, you will be able to borrow the books from the Hess Street School Library. When we have finished reading all of the 10 books, you will pick your favorite. You will vote for the book you think is the best. We will then add up all the votes to find out which book is the favorite book at Hess Street School. Here are the covers of all 10 books. Don't they look interesting? Isn't this a great adventure? I'm really enjoying sharing these 10 great Canadian books with all of you. Do you think your favorite book will be the same as mine? Do you think your favorite book will be the same as your friends? Do you think your favorite book will be your class's favorite book or the favorite book at Hess? We will see when we have finished all of the 10 books. Last week's book was A Plan for Pop by Heather Smith. When Pop gets hurt, using skills learned from Granddad and with a little help from their neighbors, Lou comes up with a plan for Pops. We have already read Emma's Gems by Anne Renaud. Emma learned from her grandpa how important it is to be generous in her life. Giraffe and Bird Together Again by Rebecca Bender. Giraffe doesn't hesitate to find and rescue his friend Bird. The Magic Boat by Kit Pearson and Catherine Ferris. With help from Piper, Ellie discovers she has her own vivid imagination. Me, Toma, and the Concrete Garden by Andrew Larson. Vincent and Toma throw dirt balls around a vacant lot, but a beautiful garden grows. And Mustafa, written by Marie-Louise Gay. Mustafa moves to a new country and feels invisible, but after a while he begins to feel like he belongs. The Reptile Club, written by Maureen Fergus, illustrated by Alina Ellis. There are lots of clubs for Rory to join at his new school, but none seem quite right for him. So when his parents suggest he starts his own club about something he loves, Rory knows exactly what it will be. A reptile club. He's positive that there are other kids out there who share his passion. He sets up his first meeting and then waits and waits for students to show up. Just as he is about to give up, Rory hears whispering in the hallway and hurries over to see who it is. To his amazement, it's not his schoolmates who have arrived to attend the first meeting, but a crocodile, an anaconda, and a gecko. The author is the person who writes the story. Maureen Fergus never planned on becoming an author of books for kids. As a kid, she dreamed of becoming a doctor or an airline pilot. She has written novels and picture books. Her books have been translated into a dozen languages. Maureen's books have won many awards. Maureen lives in Winnipeg, Manitoba, with her husband, 3 kids, and Buddy, the wonder dog. The illustrator is the person who draws the pictures in the story. Alina was born in Ukraine and never in a million years thought she would end up in Cambridge, United Kingdom, illustrating books for children. Now Alina dedicates her time and efforts to imagining stories and drawing pictures. She works both digitally and using traditional media. She creates her own books and illustrates books for others. For her, there is no greater reward than knowing that her stories and drawings make people smile. While you are enjoying the book, I would like you to think about: why are clubs important to have at school? What kind of clubs would you like to join at school? What do you think is fun about joining a club? We are very lucky because the author, Maureen Fergus, is going to read the story, The Reptile Club, to us on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Maureen Fergus. I'm the author of The Reptile Club, illustrated by the marvelously talented Ellen Ellis. I thought it might be fun for us to read together today, so why don't you sit back and get comfortable, and I will read you my story. There were lots of clubs at Rory's new school, but none seemed quite right for him. The Astronaut Club was too intimidating. The Prancing Unicorn Club was too frilly. And the Extra Math Homework Club wasn't nearly as much fun as Rory had thought it would be. Why don't you start your own club, suggested his mom. Make it about something you love, advised his dad. Rory loved deep-fried pickles, corduroy pants, and singing in the shower. But more than anything, Rory loved reptiles. So the next day at school, Rory put up Reptile Club posters and handed out Reptile Club flyers. No one seemed interested, but Rory didn't care. He just knew there were others out there who shared his passion for reptiles, and he couldn't wait to meet them. When the lunch bell rang on Friday, Rory set out his plastic reptile collection and the lizard-shaped lemon cookies his dad had helped him bake the night before. Then he sat back and waited for his fellow reptile enthusiasts to arrive. Rory waited, and he waited, and he waited. Oh, just when he was beginning to think that no one was going to show up, he heard whispering in the hallway. Heart thumping, he hurried over to see who it was. Oh, who do you think it is? I don't know. Oh, dun dun dun. For a long moment, Rory just stared at the crocodile, the anaconda, and the gecko, and they just stared at him. Then the crocodile cleared his throat and said, "Is this where the Reptile Club is meeting?" "Yes," said Rory. "Awesome," said the crocodile. "My name is Raoul. I sweat through my mouth." "My name is Miriam," said the anaconda. "I weigh 514 pounds and could swallow you in one bite." "My name is Pierre," squeaked the gecko. "I have no eyelids, so I have to lick my eyeballs to keep them clean and moist." Ugh. "Nice to meet you all," said Rory. "My name is Rory. I sweat through my armpits. I can swallow a hot dog in one bite, and I would give anything to be able to lick my eyeballs." Everybody laughed. Once the new club members were comfortably settled, they talked about their favorite reptiles. "My favorite reptile is my Aunt Gladys, because even though she tried to eat me shortly after I hatched, she always gets me terrific birthday presents," said Raoul. "Carla Chameleon is my favorite reptile because she is the world's funniest practical joker," said Miriam. My favorite reptile is my friend Jamal, because one time I accidentally ripped his tail off and he forgave me even before it grew back, said Pierre. Next, the new club members shared interesting reptile facts. It is a fact that the grouchiest tortoise I ever met was 174 years old, said Raoul. It is a fact that I adore Rocky Rodent ice cream, said Miriam. It is a fact that I think Barry the basilisk lizard is a big show-off, sniffed Pierre. Rory and his fellow club members spent the rest of the meeting playing and eating cookies. When the other kids returned from lunch and saw what the Reptile Club was all about, they couldn't wait to join. At first, Raoul, Miriam, and Pierre didn't want to let mammals into their club. Then Rory pointed out that he was a mammal, and also that it wasn't nice to be prejudiced against someone just because they had hair and could regulate their body temperature. After that, the reptiles agreed to welcome the mammals with open forelimbs. In the weeks that followed, all sorts of strange and wonderful creatures joined the Reptile Club, and at every meeting they did something fun and different. One week they had a bake sale to raise money to buy a club pet. The following week, they took a trip to the store to choose their pet. The amphibians were all too slimy, the arachnids were all too leggy, and the insects were all too delicious looking. They settled on a cactus, which they named Cornelius. They came up with a secret password, hiss, hiss, and a secret hand signal, chomp, 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 chomp. They went on hikes to observe the local wildlife. They played games like hide and shriek, and guess what I just ate? Never in the history of the world had mammals and reptiles gotten along so well. Then one blustery day in late autumn, Raoul said the words that Rory had been both dreading and expecting. It's time for us reptiles to go. Some of us will hibernate, said Miriam. The rest of us will head south, said Pierre. Why? Cried Rory's classmates. Because winter is coming and reptiles can't tolerate the cold, explained Rory. Raoul shook Rory's hand and promised that he'd never forget him. Miriam hugged Rory tight and told him that no mammal had ever understood her so well. Pierre licked Rory's right eyeball and thanked him for everything. One by one, the reptiles said goodbye forever. That winter, not one of Rory's classmates quit the Reptile Club. Partly this was because they'd become reptile enthusiasts, but mostly it was because they'd become Rory's friends. Rory appreciated their loyalty, but even he had to admit that without Raoul and the others, the Reptile Club meetings just weren't the same. And that is why, one warm day in early spring, Rory had an idea. I think it's time for us to start a new club. The Dinosaur Club! Doo, doo, doo. Well, there you go. I hope that you enjoyed reading The Reptile Club as much as I did. If you're interested, if you go to my website, I've got a Reptile Club activity sheet. So it's just maureenfergus.com. And I have a Reptile Club activity sheet and activity sheets for a bunch of my other books as well. So might be something fun for you to do. Meantime, keep reading and keep having fun and take care, everybody.
That was a great story. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. It was funny to see all the reptiles taking over the school. I'm not sure I would enjoy having snakes and other slimy animals in the school. Would you? Let's talk about what we learned. What are the differences between mammals and reptiles? What makes us the same? What makes us different? If you were at Rory's school, which club would you want to join? Do you think you'd want to join more than one? Would you join the Reptile Club? At first, Raoul didn't want the mammals to join the Reptile Club. Why wouldn't he want them to join? What did Rory say to get the reptiles to agree for his classmates to join the club? What kind of strange and wonderful creatures joined the Reptile Club? Why did the reptiles have to leave the Reptile Club? Our follow-up activity. Think about all the reptiles you saw in the book. Which one was your favorite? Using Lego or Play-Doh or blocks, make a model of your favorite reptile. Take a picture of your creation and share it with your class. This week, I want to challenge you to make a poster. I want you to create a poster for a club that you would like to start at Hess Street School once we are back at school. Well, everyone, that was our work for this week from the Hess Street Virtual Library. I have loved being with you, and I hope you enjoyed our story, The Reptile Club. It certainly was funny to see all the reptiles. And I hope you enjoyed our follow-up activities. Have a great week. Stay safe, be kind, and enjoy reading lots of books.